Welcome to this week's videocast. This week's videocast is brought to you by YHH Hockey. YHH is a great AAA club, kind of a full-service AAA club. They have off-ice training, they have on-ice training, obviously games, great competitive teams at the elite level and at the open level. They have a camp up north in Hoyt Lakes, which also has a tournament involved in it. It's a great experience. I know a lot of people that have been involved in it, including my family's been involved with YHH. I speak firsthand. It's a great program. They have their tryouts coming up in early September. Click on our site. Click on the ads on our site to get all the details for what the tryouts are by birth year over at Eden Prairie Ice Center. Let's get right to it now. We have a few different things I want to talk about. I got the Caribou Cup winners I'd like to talk about. Congratulations to all of them. Most of them were wearing orange jerseys on Sunday. A lot of the machine orange teams hauled away a lot of hardware. Special shout out to the Euro Red team for winning the 00 division. It was a great tournament, lots of great teams. A lot of teams from, like for example, the Blades played up and impressed in certain divisions, especially the 02 Blades. Took the 01 Sweet Hands, which is essentially the Blades team, to the brink on Saturday night. Just a great overall tournament. I really enjoyed the facilities that they chose to play them in, and it was a great championship game that I covered, the 02 and 03 championship games over at Minnesota Made. Let's talk about a couple of things that I noticed there. One thing that jumped out at me was there were so many good goalies that Minnesota has to offer. These kids come from all over the state. One particular I pointed out on Friday was a girl from Winnipeg. She had an outstanding tournament. There was kids at the 02 level, 01 level, 00 level. I got to see the famous Todd Scott play. He suited up for the Kodiaks both as a defenseman and a goalie. He's a fun goalie to watch play. It's not just the saving the puck, but how he plays the puck. So lots of great goalies in Minnesota. Really fun to watch. Just wanted to point out a couple of those kids that we saw. Finally, I want to talk about what's coming up in September. Mostly when people think of hockey, they don't think of September, but there's a ton going on here in September that we'll be covering. We obviously have the Minnesota Magicians have their first game on September 6th. There'll be ads on our site for that. We'll be covering all of their games, both their exhibition games and then obviously their first live game, which will be played up at the NAHL showcase at the Super Rink. We'll be covering most of for sure the Squirts, Peewees, and Bantams, the Velocity 3-on-3 tournament over in Eden Prairie. We'll be covering the Bantam Elite tryouts in Bloomington. And we'll also be covering the 14-15 Selects festival. I believe that festival will be held at Braemar. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's where it's going to be. So lots to come on YHH when it comes to hockey here in Minnesota in September of all things. We're very thankful for all the different action we're going to be able to cover. A couple thumbs up. I got 3 players that I noticed this weekend that I wanted to give a little shout out to. The first is a 00 from the Euro Reds, a kid named Brady Burning. If you go to the rink and see Brady play, he's unmistakably easy to find. He's the kid that's going to be checking everything possible. If it's not screwed down, he'll check it. He was a fun player to watch. Very aggressive, brings a great physical play to the game. He's more than just a thug out there, though. He can play, he can score goals, but his physical play really helped his team, both when he's playing for St. Michael in the association season and when he's playing for the Euros in the summer. Next kid I want to point out is a kid named Jackson Borst from Edina. He's an 03. He played for the 03 machine. Here's a kid who's just everywhere around the ice. I bet he can't wait until there's contact too. He's a real physical player, very gifted with his speed and hands. I spoke to a couple different 03 coaches and they said that's the kid that we just could not stop this weekend. So keep an eye out for Jackson Borst from Edina. He'll be a second-year squirt, I believe, for Edina, one of the two Edina Squirt A teams. That's a kid we're going to be keeping an eye on. And lastly, a kid that really kind of jumped out at us. We saw him play twice this weekend from the Northern Wings. He's on the Roseau Squirt A team. I believe his dad is the coach up there. His name is Gavin Gunderson. Really slick skater, great stick handler, really knew the game. He had a hat trick in the semifinals against Legacy on Sunday morning. He's a real special player, so keep your eyes out for a kid named Gavin Gunderson from Roseau. Well, that's it for this week. We'll be around covering a lot of hockey here in the next couple weeks. If you got a kid who's interested in trying out for a AAA club, check out the AAA club Ice Edge Hockey. We have ads on our site, and they have tryouts coming up soon. Have a good weekend. Have a good Labor Day.